This is class 9th Information Technology Employability Skills 402. Introduction to self-management. So what is self-management? Management we know, that is if you're managing a company, managing a school. What about self-management? So self-management is managing yourself. That is also called as self-control. That is controlling yourself, self-control. And then self-regulating or regulating self. That is, you're not regulating or controlling anybody else or managing anybody else. You're talking about yourself, a human being as a whole, yourself. So a human being is full of emotions. We have thoughts, we think, we have emotions like we love, we cry, we have jealousy, and the behavior. So whatever is there inside us, and is the possibility of controlling all this, what we have inside, by ourselves in different scenarios, in different situations of life, good or bad. That is, we want to make ourselves a good person, making ourselves motivated, putting the goals in front of us. That is, we want to achieve this. And this is how we achieve it, by self-managing ourselves. So it can be personal, like I want to marry this girl, or I want to crack this examination, I want to get this job, I want to get this salary, I want to get this thing done. So it can be academic wise also and personal also. I want to make my mother happy, my father happy. I have to do something for them. So all these goals in life, the important thing is the self-management. How do you do this? First is time. You know, time is just a number, and it comes again and again. So 12 midnight is not 12 midnight, because this is what you and us or we people have decided. 12 night is just a time. It's a night time, right? See, you have a time that is till 17. The average life is say 70 to 80 years. Till 17 or 16, you are just a kid. You cannot be a part of the society, this economic society. That is, after that you study academics, and whatever you study, you put it in your work, then you work and you earn, then you get married, then you have kids, and then you have good life, a settled life. This is what a normal human being does, a social life, right? Now, all these things, if you can plan either the school time or the house time, so wherever you do things, it has to be the best. It has to be the best out of yourself. It should come out of from either study wise, work wise, life wise, total life. If you can self-regulate yourself, self-control yourself, or self-manage yourself, all will be okay and best. Sometimes you give exam. Have you ever thought, oh, my exam was not good, I should have read more? Or, my exam was good, I have read enough. There was nothing left me to read now. So, this examination, what you have written, after that, sometimes you may think, I could have managed my time more precisely in a managed manner. If you have a guitar playing hobby, if you have some interest in painting, or if you want to help the poor, or you want to learn the novels. So how do you do this exam, guitar, painting, helping others? How do you manage all these so that you manage them in a proper time, give them proper time, and do best in every aspect? So self-management basically involves understanding yourself. Because you know yourself, there is no other person in this world who know better than you about yourself. What are your interests? What are your hobbies? What are your studies interests? So your interests and abilities, whatever you have, if you understand yourself, you cannot get the stars. It's not possible. But you can say, I can go to the star. That is possible. You know, impossible has I am possible word. Impossible has I am possible. So in order to achieve your goal, you need to think positive. You have that these glasses in your eyes, and those glasses should only think and see positive. That is, if you develop positive attitude and groom yourself to make yourself presentable through mind also, you can develop self-confidence, because confidence is what all matters. You need to have total control on your abilities, capabilities. Please remember, overconfidence is not good, but self-confidence is required, is mandatory. So self-management helps you and everyone on this planet in developing what? Good habits. Overcoming bad habits. See, the bad habits, you can get it everywhere, anywhere. You can use bad words, you can use some weed, you can have cigarette, you can take alcohol. All these bad habits, not thinking about others, not cooperating with people, speaking bad about everyone on their back. Good habits, for good habits, you need to work hard. For bad habit, you don't have to work hard. For example, if you are looking for a girlfriend, you always look for a girlfriend, you want her to be the best. You want her to have good habits. Same is the girlfriend. Girl also want a boy who has good habits. So if you are good, self-management can only give you good habits, can take you to the good habits. If at all 1% you say you have bad habits, some other bad habits, how to overcome this? Sometimes you may not be speaking well, you are using bad words, you are having bad habits. You can overcome that bad habits if you have control on yourself. Your control and management you can do of yourself by yourself. Then whatever you have decided, because life is all about milestone. That is, by 11 o'clock I have to do this, 3 o'clock I have to do this, or 4 o'clock I have to complete this, chapter 6 I have to complete this, ironing my shirt. So all these are the goals. If I have to go for shopping, I have to have a credit card, I have to see the air in my tires. So reaching your goals, you don't always have to, go to the Himalayas and top the Mount Everest every time. There are small steps, small goals. Then, see, life is all about the thorns. It's not a flower bed. Everyone will have challenges and difficulties in their life. Everyone, even the Elon Musk, even the Jeff Bezos, even the Mukesh Ambanis, even the Shah Rukh Khans, they have challenges and difficulties in their life. Salman Khans. So everyone has challenges and difficulty in their life. And the self-management can help you to get over these challenges and difficulties. How to overcome this? If you get angry, if you get distressed, how can you be able to overcome this? Only self-management can teach you how to overcome the problems in your life, the difficulties which you face, you and your family. Okay? In your life, you will always be subjected to stress because you have emotions. A body, human body has, if somebody says, oh my God, you have less hairs. Oh my God, you are black. Oh my God, you have pimples. You will be in stress. You will leave everything and you'll do everything to make yourself, say, fairer. You'll do everything to grow hairs. It's stress. But what about, forgetting about stress and then thinking about fun activities? That is, fun activities is just about avoiding stress. That is the fun thing. That is, you feel happy with your friends. You feel good with your kids. So who am I? If I'm in control, I'm in control of my body. That is, if you can just walk 5 kilometers, don't walk for 500 kilometers. Don't plan for 500 kilometers. Just plan for 5 kilometers. Emotions. Sometimes you cry, sometimes you have jealousy. No, you don't worry if your neighbor is having a very big, huge car. Mind. Everyone cannot be Einstein. Everyone cannot be Michael Faraday. There are average people like me. I am an average student. There are people who are very intelligent. There are some who are not either of these. But what mean is everyone in this world has come with a stomach. So he has to earn. So the God has given everyone some capability, some skill, so that he can earn. He may be a painter, he can be a singer, he can be an IT engineer. So the mind, if you have control and you know in your mind, you can heal yourself. Because if there is a cut in your body, the body heals itself. You have to heal yourself, the inner soul. And that means you have to be organized. You have to have a timetable. You have to think about your strength and weaknesses, what you have. So these are the points which will make you self-managed. So self-management skills, it includes, as I'm saying, self-management skill cannot be developed like this. If you have self-awareness, so let me tell you, 100% you cannot learn and just develop self-management. Only 60% you can do, but even 60%, 33% is passing mark. So you need to learn all this. First is, what do you like? What you don't like? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? This is called self-awareness. You need to know yourself better, then only you'll be able to control yourself. So what is self-control? Self-control is your behavior, your discipline. When you're talking to your friends, when you're talking to your mother, father, when you're talking to a kid, how do you behave? You're talking to a senior. So the behavior and discipline, you might not have learned very good in your school or college, but that is inside you. You can be always good. Self-confidence, that means believing in yourself. That is, you can do this. I'm just saying, don't think that you can do everything. But you know yourself, so you can do this. You can take calculated risk. Business people do what? They take risk. They get profit. Sometimes they incur loss also. Sometimes people become Elon Musk. Sometimes they just lose everything. But you have to do this. Problem solving. See, life is all about problem. How to solve this problem step by step, one step by one step. If you go to stress or distress, any problem, say hypertension and all this, what is the fun? Self-motivation. Every day you have to self-motivate yourself. If you retire at 60, after that you say, oh, I don't have anything to do. You need to be self-motivated. You pass your exam, 12th, in a very good marks, intermediate, then you stop learning. No, you need to self-energize yourself. Your battery has to be 100% every time. And the most important is personal hygiene and grooming. Take bath every day. Okay? If you have beard, shave it every day. Groom yourself. That is, be clean and be presentable. That will not make others happy. That will make yourself happy. If you see yourself in the mirror and you look good, you'll feel good. And that is how your inner self, your soul, will be energized. If you have possibility, I'm not saying that if you are poor, you do this. If you can afford, please do this. Positive thinking. Yes, I can. Don't say I cannot. As I said, I am possible has impossible meaning also. So even if you have tough situations, be positive. If you can solve something, why are you worried? If you cannot solve something, then why are you worried? See, every time you don't have to worry, just do it. Just solve that thing, have with positive thinking. If somebody ditches you, you learn, you get a knowledge, you get some experience. Teamwork. See, single person cannot do everything. If your tires get flat, you have to go to the person who makes your tire running again. You are eating food, somebody is preparing and creating that food. So teamwork, whenever you are with friends or your teachers or with your co-workers, work with them harmoniously. Time management. We started with time only. So time is a resource. It's a material. It's money. Then goal. Sometimes your goal, your armor will go here and there. But if you decide in the proper time, design a goal, you will get it. Now there are some questions which we will do just now. Which of the following is not a self-management skill? Problem solving is a self-management skill. Understanding self is a self-management skill. And same as with confidence building. All these will make you manage yourself better. Okay, these are skills you can learn and you can develop in yourself. But the problem is bargaining is not a skill. Mainly in the developing country, we go to a person and we say, no. 20 rupees, no, I'll just give you 15 rupees. But in a mall, you'll go and you'll say, if you have 500 and you have to pay the taxes also, you will not say anything. Bargaining is bargaining about your hak, what your rights are. This is what bargaining means. Not for the money, simple things. See, So these are not, bargaining is not a self-management skill. Grooming is a term associated with making yourself, keeping yourself neat and clean appearance, right? That is, you will feel good when you are good. Bargaining and neat and clean, this is the answer here. Okay? Now, short answer question. Let us see this. Write a short note on the factors influencing management, self-management. So we have already seen this. First is the factors influencing self-management are unable to managing time. You are lacking the self-understanding. You have negative attitude towards everything, and you don't have the self-confidence. You cannot self-confidence. Somebody will say negative attitude will always make you positive. That's not good. Organized look. You need to look good, right? Neat and clean. You also like people will also like you. List any 5 management skills. So this 5 is management skill. Before that, the third is you have to take your right hand and outline this. I'm not very good at writing or handwriting, so just bear with me. And you have to write it here. Different factors that influence you in managing yourself, right? Like your environment, like your money in your pocket, your living condition, or the team with you work, or teachers. So let us say this. I hope you'll be able to answer the third one. Let us go to the second one. First is self-awareness, knowing yourself, your likes, dislikes, strengths, and weaknesses. So this is self-awareness. Self-control is controlling all your behavior and discipline according to the situation and scenario. Don't do anything which puts you in jail or not good in others' eyes. Self-confidence, believe in yourself. You can do any task. Okay. Don't be scared of taking risk, calculated risk. Problem solving. First understand the problem, and step by step, procedure by procedure, you'll find a solution. So this is how you solve a problem. You just don't solve the problem at once. And keeping yourself in hygiene and groomed. One thing is very important. One person said that it is very difficult to make things easy. So the most difficult in this world is to make things easy, right? Strength and weakness analysis. Strength, taqat, weakness, kamzori. So we'll be talking about this. The first thing is, have you ever thought that you're very good at maths, but you don't get that much of marks in Hindi or English, or you can reverse it. Hindi, English, you're getting good marks, but maths, not very good. So the basic idea is, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? If you know your strength and if you know your weaknesses, then only you can progress. You can perform well. You can perform exceptionally. For that, you need to know yourself, because you are the only person who can know you better. What are your beliefs? What are your values? What are your ideals, ideas? What do you like? What you don't? What are your dislikes? And on anything, any event, anything which is happening, what is your opinion which is coming out of your mind? And what is your background? What is your parivesh? What is your education? What is you have learned, what you have learned in your life? So as I said, the first thing is to know yourself. Your like, your dislike, your beliefs, your opinions, and your background. And main thing is what you can do well and what you can't, what you cannot do well. There is nothing which you cannot do. A human being can do anything. But can you do the way the other person can do? So know who you are is the main measure of knowing your strengths and weaknesses. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Unless you measure yourself, you self-analyze yourself. So strength and weakness analysis is about knowing yourself, being self-aware. That is, who am I as an individual? That is, I'm so good, I'm so, intelligent. See, there are certain characteristics which are not what you are. Name, qualification, everyone has it. Everyone has a name. You might be qualified, you might not be. What is your relationship? You'll have your mother, you'll have your father. These are usual characteristics. I'm talking about looking beyond this, what you have inside. Okay, that is, you have to go outside these normal characteristics which everyone has. That is, you need to know as an individual, as a human being, what are your inner strength, on which thing you are the best, what are the talents inside you. You can play a mouth organ, you can run very well, you can add the numbers quickly. What are your skills? That is, you can do that thing better than others, right? So these are the skills might not other have. And what are your weaknesses? That is, weaknesses you know better. Other people, other person cannot know about you. And you have to make these weaknesses as your strength. I'll give an example. I'm giving you certain examples of strength. That is, I'm good at understanding other people emotion. That is, I'm good, very good, that I can understand what other person is thinking, feelings, emotion. This is my power. And also, when I deal with anybody else, stranger, whom I have never met, I can be very friendly. I can deal with him without even getting harmed. So this is how public dealing is good at you, or good you are good at. I can help my parents, I can help my friends, I can help my kids. I help them. I play cricket very well. I play football very well. But what are the weaknesses? That is, I am unable to resist the noodles like the chow mein and the momos and the burgers. I would like to learn more about computers. That is, I am weak with computers. I need to learn it more so that I can compete, or else I can be equivalent with the other kids, other people. See, everyone is a kid. Everyone is not coming with knowledge. So everyone has to develop certain things. So strength are those things which you do well. Everyone has some strength. I'll give an example. Everyone has a stomach, so he has to eat to survive. So in order to eat, he has to work. So whenever he is working, that is, he must have some skill or the ability so that he work. So everyone in this world, whoever, he will have certain skill, maybe a skill which can make him or her Rihanna, or make him a normal worker in the whirlpool industry. Weaknesses is, what are the areas, what are the fields where you need certain improvement. That is, if I just touch this weight, the person will be able to lift it. There are certain things you might not be that good. You know, if your mother is taking you to Indian Idol or the competition, and you can't sing, everyone is praising family, not others, and you are not a good singer, so this is your weakness. You cannot go to that job profile. The basic thing is, by understanding ourselves, we can. That is, not what we can do, what we cannot, and based on that information, what we can. That is, if we can do something, let's plan it. Let's plan it. And if we cannot do something, let's plan it to improve. And by improving, what we can do, when we improve, when we practice, when we learn, we feel confident. We feel confident in ourselves that I can do this. Ambani cannot be Tendulkar. He cannot play cricket like Tendulkar, but Tendulkar cannot be Ambani. He cannot be that big, good businessman as Ambani is. How to identify your strength? How to identify your weaknesses? The first thing is, take time off to think about what you do well. What we do every day, every morning we wake up, we do the normal work, routine work, and when we are, thak jate hain, when we get tired, we just sleep. There is no time for us. Thinking of anything that you are always good at from the time you were born till now, what you're good at, and what other people appreciate about you. That is, everyone is appreciating you are good, you are good, you are good. That means these are your strength. But only if you think that I am good at it, people are not saying. I think you need to revisit your thoughts. Everyone has to appreciate. They have to give you the feedback. Okay? So it's better that people don't smile at you. Take your strength. Weaknesses. See, math is not life. If you're not good at math, take arts. That is, point out the areas where you struggle, what is difficult for you. And what the people are giving you feedback that, oh, you have done this, you are not good at it, you're not doing it well. That means this is your weakness. You have to work on it. You have to see that people response, people feedback is the criteria of getting better. Okay. So these are how to identify weaknesses. Always be open to feedback. If somebody says that you are doing wrong or you are not doing well, don't shout, don't get angry. Take it as positive feedback, because accept the weakness, because you have to improve it. Okay, there is always an area of improvement. You have seen Usain Bolt. Every time he runs, he better his record. Always. So there are a few questions that can help you find your strengths and weaknesses. I have already talked, but now few more. How am I different from others? What are the things, skill, ability which I have better than others? I can sing well. I can play cricket well. That is how you're different. So when you're different, that is you have strength. How do I do better than others? Or what do I do better than others? So if I play cricket, I make 100, other only make 20. I am better at it. What do other people admire in me? People are always admiring. Whenever I do this, people say, very good. Okay. I'll just give an example that a person who is 50 years of age, he started dancing in just a marriage. And in YouTube, he became famous. I'll give an example of Indian Bhuvan Bam. He is the highest, the most popular YouTuber. But previously, he was just teaching Word and WordStar and editing software. But when he got his strength, when he found his strength, now he is the most popular YouTuber in India. What makes me stand out? What makes me different from others? That is my strength. What about weakness? Where do I worry and struggle? Whenever I get this, I feel somewhat, how do I do this? That is your weakness. Okay? You cannot be a public speaker always. Okay? Where, how, and why do others perform better than me? See, the people can perform better, but it is not that you need to compete with them. You can perform in some other field. What advice for improvement do I often receive from others? People give me feedback. If I sing, people say, no, you're not singing well. You need some improvement. Oh, I need to improve then. See, there are two things. Interest and abilities. Liking, interest or liking, shock, adat. And abilities is what we develop through studies, through learning, through coaching, through tutoring. So, interests and abilities are different. Interests are things that we enjoy every time. You love it. If any kid, just allow him or her to play, he will play. Every kid will play. That may be interest. So activities which you love at school or whenever you are free, it makes you happy. And activities you're curious about. Whenever you have time, no one will ask you, but you will do it. That is, it is your interest. This is what you want to do. And activities you want to learn and you want to do it in future and earn your livelihood. You feel happy. That is your interest. But ability is different. Ability is what you acquired. That is, you go to an engineering college, you take a degree or say mechanical engineering or civil engineering. You were good at maths and you cracked an exam and you went to mechanical engineering. So you have an ability, you acquired an ability to be a mechanical or a civil engineer. You know how hydraulic works, you know how all the mechanical parts work. Okay? How the buildings are made. You have acquired this knowledge. This was not your interest. So you can do that particular job. When you become proficient, you become expert. And by learning, by coaching, by reading. So please remember, interest may not match abilities. Interest may be different, abilities may be different. Okay? So interest may not match ability, ability may not match interest. Okay? But you can always improve your ability. You can say you are very good at making food, so you can go to a hotel management institute. You can be a chef. You can be a chef if you just like making food in your house. That is your ability. That is your interest. For example, I'll give you one more example. You like cricket. That may be your interest, but maybe physically you may not play, or there is some other problem. So it's better not to be a cricketer. It may be your interest, but acquire ability, learn something, be a good, say, engineer, doctor, or lawyer, or some, and then you can earn money, and then you can follow your interest. Interest should always be there. Everyone has to have some interest that makes him happy. Okay, this is for checking your progress. I'll just give you an idea because you have to do it yourself. Fill in the table given below, which can help you to prepare an action plan to overcome your weakness. Identify and list the activities that you would like to undertake to improve your upon weaknesses and continue to build your strength. Okay, the strength is I can speak many languages. The weakness is I do not understand computers. So your strength is that you can speak many languages. So now you can improve your speaking for other languages also. I do not understand computers, so this is my weakness. So I need to do something extra. I need to take extra classes after school. I need to learn from the person who is expert, and then I can learn it better. So you need to plan it. For example, the strength is speaking languages. So you can add languages like learn Mandarin, learn Hindi. For example, weakness is public speaking. I cannot be a public speaker. I don't speak well. I don't deal with people. I feel, I'm very introvert. So better thing is go to public, try talking, take coaching from the expert, learn, try to read the speaking way, how to motivate yourself, and be good at language and vocabulary. You'll be better. Okay, this is all about.
What is self-confidence? Atmavishwas, what is that? How to develop it and what exactly it means? Self-confidence, it's very important that you know yourself. That is, whatever abilities you have, skills you have, interests you have, and yourself, if you start trusting yourself, that is self-confidence. If you're intelligent, hardworking, talented, it is very good. But if you lack confidence, if you have low confidence, that is, you are not able to take initiative, you avoid taking initiative, then how do people know about your talent, your intelligence, your hard work? That is, you have to tell people, you have to take initiative, you have to be confident enough to let them know that you are someone. Okay? How do people recognize your talent? So self-confidence, we can develop. And how can we develop? There are certain ways. First, you have to change your attitude, change your behavior, change your perspective. This you have to change. And then you have to practice, practice, practice. I'll give an example. Neeraj. Now, Neeraj has some difficulty in speaking English. So what do he do? He avoid talking to his classmates. He's frightened inside. So he thinks, let me go to the English class, join it, I'll be good at English, and then I'll be able to speak to my friends, my teacher, everyone fluently. Here we have Shalini on the other hand. She is preparing for exams. Now, she is already fearful that in English, she might not get good marks because she has poor memory. Because of lack of confidence, she is already nervous, and when she actually give exam, she gets less marks, poor marks. These two are the example of lack of self-confidence. There is a confidence deficit here. So self-confidence, which I was telling you, is a quality, is the merit, is the value that we build when we believe in our strength, our power, our inner self, and that to succeed in anything what we do in our life and in any situation, good or bad. So, if you know your strength, if you know that what you have inside yourself and you're confident about it, having strength is different, but you're feeling confident about that strength will make your way. What are the qualities of a self-confident person? How do you say that you are self-confident? Or how do you say you lack self-confidence? So first thing first is self-belief. I will give you example of all this. Self-belief. Just trust in yourself. Believe in yourself. That is, even if you fail, it doesn't mean that you don't rebound.
Yes, I can do this. Thomas Alva Edison. Now he's a legend. We know, everyone knows him. Before actually making the bulb, which is lighting the globe today, he made prototypes. That is the same looking, you know, structure, or you can say same looking instrument or device. But he struggled. He struggled. He failed multiple times. But he kept to his resilience. He has belief in himself that I will do what I have started. And then the world got bulb light. What is the other quality of a self confident person? Hard work. Deepa Karmakar. Now she is an Indian athlete, gymnast basically. Now she has a flat foot. In army also, if you have flat foot, you cannot go into army. That is like this. If you run, then this you cannot run properly. It it will collide sometime. Your legs, they are not flat. It means it is called flat foot, but the problem is the gymnast cannot have it. It will be very difficult for any gymnast despite being flat foot. And she did it. She got medals in Commonwealth. Wherever she went, she got medals. And in Olympics, the world biggest event of all time, she got fourth position. Can you imagine? India getting a any medal, it's like something else. And she got fourth position, just few points away. Next thing is positive attitude. Ravaiya, soch. It has to be sakaratmak, positive. Always think of good thing. Always think that this has happened. Okay, what can I extract good from it? There will be a time good, but there will be a time which will adverse, which will not be in your favor. Then you cannot have a negative attitude. Don't have a specs or a glass by which you see only the bad thing. If you have gone for an exam, if you failed or you cannot succeed, you didn't succeed, if you lost a game or you lose a game, that doesn't mean your life has stopped. You can improve your game, you can work hard for your exam, and you will get through it. I'm sure if you have a positive attitude, you can get through it. Commitment, pratibadhata, katibadhata. There can no other be example other than Mahatma Gandhi. He was a global leader, Indian leader, and he was the pioneer of Indian independence movement, Rashtriya Andolan. He committed himself that now I will do whatever it can to get the independence from the Britishers. And what he did, na bhala na lathi, non-violent, without any violence, a civil disobedience, Savinay Avagya Andolan. And he gave us that independence. Just one man, and we got independence. This was his commitment because he was self confident, self belief, hardworking, positive attitude, commitment. These are the qualities of self confident people, right? Sometimes we may not have that kind of self confidence in us. How to build that self confidence? What is the criteria? What are the steps? First is appreciate the achievements. Yes, you got it. Be positive about it. Be happy about it. But you need to accept the failures. No one is perfect. Tendulkar, master, he's a god of cricket. From 99 to 100th century, he took one whole year. He is the master class. But he accepted failure. That is why he is the god of cricket. Appreciate achievement, but accept failures. Sometimes you win. Every time you cannot win. But whenever you lose, you see why we lost. Ajinkya Rahane, he was the captain of Indian team when we won the series in Gaba. No one has, not a team has ever defeated Australia. There was a cake being presented to him with a kangaroo on it. Cake. Kangaroo. Ajinkya Rahane said that this is kangaroo, and because this is a country's national animal, I cannot cut it. This was the strength, self confidence, and the appreciation for the failure for the other party that he showed. And that is how he is a great man. That is why we respect him. Because appreciate your achievements. He was appreciating, but he cannot do that what is required. Wrong from him. Second thing, have a goal and take steps toward it. I gave you an example of Deepa Karmakar. She got fourth position in Olympic. And in India, getting an Olympic is like a Nobel Prize. But she got good medals in other Commonwealth and Asian Games. But what about Olympics? She tried, and that is how he got that position. Always good at the coach side. Be happy. Be happy. See, if you cannot do that work, or it is not under your control, why are you worried? And if you can do that work, then also why are you worried? So both the times don't need to worry, because worry you're oh my god, I cannot do this. What will happen to this? There's no problem. There is no way you can do this. So you need to be calm, cool, happy, and try to solve the problem which has come unto you. Everyone will have challenges, problems, but be self-confident. You can solve anything which has come. Problems are there to solve. Okay? So talk to people confidently. Try and try again. Rasari awaz jaat se sir par paras nisan. That means a rope can create a dent in the stone if it is rubbed multiple times. But there are certain factors that will decrease your self-confidence. You have to avoid all this. First thing first, if you initially say, "Mere bas ki nahi hai, I cannot do this. How I cannot do this work." Don't do this. Sometimes what happens that there are certain mistakes we've made. Everyone makes mistakes. But keeping that mistake in your mind and not going forward, oh, that mistake, oh my god, I've done this in the past. Don't do. Forget it and go ahead. Sometimes you make an attempt and you fail first time. For example, UPSC, you want to be an IAS and you didn't pass. People prepare for 4, 5, 10 years to become an IAS. If they go and they fail for the first time, why are they preparing so much? So failing for the first time doesn't mean you leave that. Try again, multiple times. And those people who are having a negative attitude, please kindly get away from them. Control Shift delete them from your life. Always positive energy welcome. Always good people welcome. Respect them, honor them. Okay? Now let us take the question and answer. What steps should one take to build confidence? So what are the steps you can take? Set goals in life. It's okay, but appreciate oneself for all the achievements. So there can be multiple answers also. Appreciate oneself for all your achievements. This is good. B, you can correct. Always think positively. Talk to people who are confident. Okay. All these things are good. Set goals in life. So what I feel is all the answers are correct. What I feel is first one, set goals in life, is somewhat not, because it's not coming under self-confidence. Okay, what steps should one take to build confidence? So you can answer more of them. So appreciate yourself, always think positively, talk to people who are confident. These B, C, D are correct. Please remember, B, C, D are correct. So set goals in life is not that much correct. Which of the following is a quality of a self-confident person? If you are self-confident, patience is also good, compassionate, committed, passionate. But since we saw the example and the discussion, I'll just go back and I'll just show you. You see here, self-belief, hard work, positive attitude, and commitment. So commitment plays a role here, and this commitment can be the answer there, because others are there. I don't deny them. I don't really deny them. Being patience is important, and compassionate. If someone has problem, then you always come in his or her rescue. Passionate, you need to be passionate. Energized. All these are correct. But as per this discussion, what I feel is committed is the correct answer. You need to be committed. Self-belief, positive thinking, all these were there. Okay. So committed, katibaddhata, being self-confident means you need to be committed. Have commitment for any relationship, for any work. So what we see here is this is the answer. Okay. What are the factors that affect self-confidence? So what are the factors that affect self-confidence? These are we have discussed this. Let us discuss it again. First thing is, don't say I cannot do. Everyone can do anything. Maybe good or bad. Okay, in a good way or bad way. But don't say no. Whatever mistakes was committed, just put a mitti on it. or bury it and start afresh. If you're not successful in the first attempt, don't leave it. Try again. Try and try again. Usain Bolt, when he first ran, he came not first. But now Usain Bolt cannot be beaten. He is immortal. Now, those people who are negative attitude, I'll give an example. One friend was sending crabs to other friend from India to America, but the lid was not there. So when the crab he counted in America, he said, "Oh, all the crabs have come." So Indian friend said, "Yes." Why? Because I have sent you crabs. One crab go up, three crabs pull them down.
Positive
This is all
thinking.
about this discussion.
That is sakaratmak soch, positive thinking. So what will happen if an ant started thinking that I am the smallest creature of this nature? That is, there is nothing smaller than me. Microorganisms are there, but still, smallest creature. I cannot pick anything. I cannot load anything. How do I live? This ant, they haven't thought this. If they ever thought that, they would be extinct, finished by now. They actually worked. They never considered them to be smaller or the smallness as their weakness. And if I can tell you, a single ant can lift up to 20 times its own body weight. 20 times. So, this ant is having a positive attitude. This is what makes them do what is impossible. 20 times its body weight. So, positive attitude can help us, can help all of us to succeed like ants. So, we have to have positive attitude, not only in our behavior, but whatever comes in our life. Because life will have challenges. You have to overcome them. There is no one in this world who has all the good things in their life. They will have bad things, they have challenges, they will have problems, they will have failure. Everything will be there. So, in order to get those done or to get away or to pass through these challenges, it's important to have a positive attitude. Why this positive thinking is so important? Why we are giving so much importance? A person attitude, a human being, he can either be positive or negative. That is, he can think that the glass is half full or half empty. So positive attitude is a specs or a glass in your dimag, in your brain, not on your eyes. Think always good. Think always positive. Be patient. Observe everything. Try to find goodness in everything. Understand. And then try to work on it. Try to improve rather than worrying. Because if you start thinking about negatives, bad points, oh, I cannot do this. Oh, this is impossible. Oh, I am finished. You will not be able to do that thing. You will not be able to get over all those problems you have. Whenever you get angry, the first thing happens is your brain starts not working, or it starts giving you different ideas which are not taking to your good path. So your brain stops working whenever you get angry, whenever you get worried, whenever you get stressed. So positive thinking leads good results. For example, overcoming challenges. The life is full of challenges, as I said. You will be able to overcome it. You will be able to face it, and you will be able to counter it. And also, you will be able to work energetically. That is, if you have good thoughts, you will always be energetic while working. If you are stressed, if you are depressed, you won't be able to work. Then it will help you get better at work. You and the people around you. It can be your friend, it can be your partner, it can be your wife, it can be your friends, anyone. You will make them happy. We always try to be with a person who gives you positive vibes, positive vibration. You will never like to be with a person who always thinks bad, is depressed, is unthoughtful, always take the negative stand, talk everything against everything.
So I'll give you an example of negative thinking and I'll make it positive also. First example is I did not get enough marks to choose the science stream, or I cannot go into the science. My life is finished. My life is ruined. I cannot do anything in my life now. This is the only thing which I can do. The other thing is my team lost the match because of me. In any game, is it possible that both can win or both can lose? The maximum possible is draw. The team draw. But the thing is, the life is a game. Some win, some lose. You need to be in the winning part, in the winning side. I told you about GABA. India's C team, they defeated Australia, which were never beaten in GABA. So this is just because they have positive thinking. Now I'll make these into positive thinking. Okay, same thing. I did not get enough marks now. I did not get enough marks to choose the science stream, same thing. But that's not the end of my life. I can consider options in other streams. I can go to biology, I can go to medicine, I can go to commerce, I can go to arts. Second one is my team lost. How can I make it positive? My team lost the match today, but now we will work hard and harder to win and do better next time, so that we do everything to win. How to keep your thinking positive? Means you may be negative, I may be negative. How can we make ourselves positive? Because there are so many advantages of being positive. First is you need to have a positive attitude in life, and I'll just give you a simple method or steps to make yourself positive. The simple method is smile. Smile. Always smile. Life is full of thorns. Smile every day. Start your day in a positive way. Whenever you wake up, make your bed. That is the start. Make your bed. Smile. Thank God. Thank your mother, father, your parents, your friends, your everyone, like if you have your brothers and sisters. Like you need to exercise, read, watch something which is motivating. And talking to people who are positive make you smile. Next one is M. M is for you need to have time to relax. You need to find for yourself, to find the me time. We wake up and since morning till evening, we get tired, working, and then we sleep, and then the circle goes on of the life. I is for imagine the best in any situation. See, if something happens, if you say, oh my God, this has happened. Oh my God, my life is going to be finished. If something has happened, say, as has happened now. Instead of thinking about that, how you can make it better, this is imagine I. L is for learn to take feedback in a positive way. People will say, oh, you are not doing this thing right. You'll say, oh, come on, keep your mouth shut. Don't talk to me like this. I know what to do myself. Don't fight with people. They're giving you some advice. They're giving you some feedback. Take it in a positive note and try to see that if some people are saying the same thing, you need to improve. There is some problem. Express gratitude. Thank you. If you go to the Western world, everyone says thank you. Thank you. They smile, they say thank you. They smile, they say thank you. Excuse me, thank you. That is, the environment becomes so positive. That is, be thankful for all the good things you have. See, if somebody does one good work for you, do 100 good works for them. That is, start a good day. Exercise, reading, watching, as I said. S for smile. I'm again just trying to repeat this SMIL. Try to listen to Sandeep Maheshwari. I sound like him, I guess. And whatever makes you happy, do it first. M, as I said, sing a song, listen to a song, or do yoga, breathe, talk to your loved ones, relax, stay calm, try to meditate, try to relax, take a nap if possible. Imagine the best in any situation I am talking about. What is the example here? Everything will not be as per your requirement. Sometimes your car may broke. Don't get worried. It will be fixed. Feedback. That is, if somebody is saying, see, you are not doing this work properly, try to do this like this. Do the way the other person has said, try it, at least try it. That is, improve yourself through feedback system. Express gratitude, as I just said. Say thank you. Say thank you. Be grateful to everyone and anyone. Right? You see people, they don't have the basic need, this basic thing needed, required. Some don't have hands, some are autistic, some are ADHD, some have. There are so many troubles in life. And you are thinking negatively. Think, says God, thank you, God. And you have to say thank you and to anyone and try to help them. Somebody gives you a pen, give them 10 pen. Somebody gives you a burger, give them 10 burger. Somebody says all the best, you say all the best 100 times to him or her. This is expressing gratitude. Now coming to questions. What is the best way to start our day positively? Think all about that can go wrong. No. If you are thinking about going wrong, this is a negative attitude. Think about the difficult tests you will face during the day. The test is going to come. It will be difficult. You need to prepare. Think about all your accomplishments so far and feel good about it. Yes, that is the way. Think about the traffic at the road and feel stressed. Even before going to the road, you start feeling stressed. So this is the answer. C is the correct answer here. Next one is Rahul gets feedback on his project work from his class teacher. Which of these options demonstrate positive attitude in this situation? So when somebody is giving you feedback, you need to understand that and try to work accordingly. Because people help you in your life. Rahul ignores the feedback, that's a negative attitude or that's an adamant attitude. Rahul takes the feedback and does not use it. He just listens but doesn't use it. Rahul tells others that the teacher is wrong. The teacher is like this and he says like this. But the D one, Rahul learns from the feedback and makes his project work better. That is, he uses his mind and he also uses the feedback, that is, the project will be better. D is the answer. What can you do to get rid of negative thoughts or feelings? How can you overcome these negative thoughts or feelings? Meditate to calm down and feel positive. This is the correct answer actually. No, first thing we learn, meditate and feel positive. Always think that the glass is half full. Ignore them and move in life. See, don't be an ostrich. Act based on the negative thoughts or feelings. If you're negative thoughts, you'll be negative always. You'll always be in trouble. Talk to a friend and share all your negative feelings. This is sometimes good when you share. Sometimes it is always good, but not always. If people think that you always say negative, they will not be around with you for long. Okay? So meditate to calm down and feel positive. Okay? So this is how we can be positive. Meditate, learn from the feedback, and be thankful to everything you have. Okay.
Personal hygiene.
Personal means an individual, yourself, me. Hygiene means cleanliness. Cleanliness. So cleaning yourself. Because personal hygiene is a habit or a practice that is keeping ourselves as a human being, as an individual, clean. Whenever you wake up, what happens? You will feel that I need to brush. Okay? Sometimes you might have bad breath, so you brush. Then you go, then you do the daily, toilet. And then what do you do? After, you can say, freshen up yourself, you'll take bath. Right? So you go to bath, and these are the process everyone has to do. Everyone will do it, whether he is a president or an emperor or a Bollywood hero or anyone normal public. So cleanliness, it helps us in a lot of ways. First, if you're clean, that means your health will be fine. That is, first is your body. If you don't make it clean every time, then what will happen? You will be succumbed to germs, to different diseases. So if you are healthy, that means you will be able to work properly, study properly, go to college properly. That is, you will be a regular. Sometimes you are ill for 7 days, next week you are ill for 2 days. So your normal life routine will suffer because everyone is in the race. So in order to be in the pace with everyone else, you need to be healthy. I'll give an example. She is called Rashmi. She is a beautician. Now she has to work very closely with the clients. Now if she has a bad breath, if you see here also, she is so close to the client that if she had bad breath, the client won't come again. Or the client today will say, why don't you brush? You smell so bad. And the areas around our hands and the groin area, these are the places normally are the places where we sweat a lot. Let me give an example of Prashant. He's a receptionist at certain hotel. Now he is always subjected to, or he is facing various people who are coming to the hotel. Now if he is wearing a cloth which is full of sweat, or he has food stain, or he is not presentable, he has not cleaned himself, what will happen to the business? What will happen to the people who will see him every time? Okay, so personal hygiene, it becomes very important. First of all, it will keep us healthy. We can stay healthy. Second thing is, either Rashmi or Prashant, when people will meet them, then it will create a good image of them and of course ourselves if we do the same thing. And finally, if you are sweating, you have bad breath, you are farting, you have bad body odor, so that will be a kind of feeling ashamed in public if somebody points out, or somebody is really troubled with your not habit of personal hygiene. So personal hygiene is very important. Next is 3 steps to personal hygiene. What can you do for that? You need to clean yourself. Everyone has to do this. There is no ifs and buts. This is mandatory, right? First thing is care. The hairs, because sometimes in the dry, when your skin grows dry, the head area, the upper skin, the dead skin, actually it comes out white, and it comes on your head, or it is seen on your head, on your clothes. So this looks very, very bad. So first of all, this thing. Second thing is, normally in the winter time when we take bath, our skin become very, very rough. So we need to have oil and cream. Third is, you need to brush daily, and preferably 2 times a day. Okay, no stains. Okay, then toothbrush. Sometimes we use toothbrush for months. You need until they start deshaping. You cannot wait for that. It starts deshaping, just change it. You have to clean it inside also. Basically the inside tooth, not the front ones. Fronts you can clear it, but basically from where you eat, you need to clean it. There is a plague there. Cut your nails every week. Like our hairs, like our nails also grow without we even thinking about them. So after care, wash comes. First is, wash your hand. Is it corona? Is it any disease? Or you go to play. Whatever you do, come and wash your hand, because you do every work, everything possible using your hands. Take bath every day, because your body is sweating and it is taking out some, say, sweats and oils. Wash your clothes regularly. See, whatever your body has, even if you go to toilet or whatever, the clothes get dirty. So you need to wash it. And wash your hair at least every second day. It is not, I'm saying if it is possible, you can do it every day, but you need to shampoo it, you need to clean it almost second day. Women cannot do that every day, because it gets the hair gets wet. And then wash your feet often, because if you're wearing shoes, even if you're not wearing shoes, the feet is that point of the body which take all the dirt, all the germs. Keep your shoes or slippers out of the house. Third thing is avoid Whenever you blow your nose, you cough, try to use a handkerchief. If it is not possible, then you can use your shoulder, and then you can sneeze, you can cough, you can, always advisable is handkerchief. So take your elbow and then do it. Don't do it on your hand. Okay? Because people right now, mainly in the corona times, they will think that you have some dangerous disease. And keep your feet dry, your groin area and your armpits. These are the armpits, and especially the place from where you do the cleaning of, morning cleaning. So you need to clean those areas, change your socks every day. This is how to avoid these things. Okay, try all these: caring, washing, and avoiding. These are the simple steps for personal hygiene, right? Use powder, use deodorant. What are the essential steps of hand washing? We have learned that 30 seconds we have to wash, but there are certain steps. First, you have to wet your hand. Without wetting your hand, don't use the soap. First, you have to wet your hands. Okay, then you pour some soap, and enough soap. Don't be mean or miser. Then rub your hand one over another, then one back on another, and likewise the same cycle. So you have to clean these areas, because these are the area where germs will be. Clean them properly. Take time. Give some time cleaning. Don't rush, because hand is the area. And finally, your nails also. In nails, the main germs are embedded there. The dirt, the germs, all are there in these hidden areas. Then finally, you can also wash. Take the left thumb and right and do it otherwise also. Then you have to rub inner surface of your palm using your these nails, and then the below area, the inner thumb and the below area, because these are the points where you get this, see, the hand wrinkle you can say. Then rinse hand thoroughly with water. Keep your flow of water very, very low, and then you can, because soap will still be there, and now you can clean it slowly. Because if you increase the flow at once, this soap will go. So you can give some time again cleaning it. Once it is done, you can use a towel to dry. Now you can have a tissue paper also. There are different types of tissue paper also come. I'm just saying that if the towel is used already, there are highly likely chances that all these mehnat you have done, work you have done, will be futile. And finally, you will see your hands are now clean. Okay, do it again if you want. There is no harm cleaning your hands. The harm is the hand skin are strong. The feet skin are strong. Now I'll take the questions and answer now. Do you think people living in hill stations can skip taking a bath for many days? Some people will argue the people living in Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Ladakh, or Canada, or the higher altitudes of China, Russia. Is it advisable that they take a bath, say, 2 times a week or 1 time a week? See, whatever happens, we need to stick to what we have learned. Yes, not taking bath for many days is acceptable for people staying in cold climate. People will say that. But the body is working, no? You are going to toilet, you are pissing, you are farting, you are sweating, everything is happening. Armpits and groin area, you need to clean them every day. It depends on you. Clean it. If they wipe themselves with a wet cloth, then it is fine. No, using wet cloth can give you some relief of cleanliness. But this is not all. Okay? So A is the correct answer. No, irrespective of the climate, one should take bath regularly. This is highly advisable. Okay? Wherever you live, even in -40. Radha wants to grow her hair and she applies a lot of hair oil. She does not wash her hair off for days, and sometimes it smells bad too. What would be your suggestion to her? Okay. Now let me give you first an idea, or I know the person personally. He is a doctor in AIIMS. So a doctor, he is called Pradeep Sethi, and his wife also is a doctor from AIIMS. Now, these 2 doctors have said that don't use oil. They said oil is not bad for hairs. it enhances the hair fall. They are also saying, have you ever seen any Englishmen or the foreign people using the oil? It's only we do in Indian subcontinent. But this is just a fact. I'm just sharing it with you. But let us come back to the answer. The oil has viscosity. It is quite sticky also. So it sticks to your hair. It sticks to your skin. So if it's sick, it will also get dirt also. So she can leave the oil in the hair. After all, it helps her grow hair. No, she should not apply the oil at all. As I just said, the AIMS example I just gave because it is my personal experience. I don't use oil, but if you are using oil, there is no problem. You can apply the oil. She can apply the oil and pour a little water on her hairs before leaving home to reduce the smell. Now, if you have some bad smell, will you use the deodorant or will you be cleaning yourself? So B is the correct answer. She can leave it one at night and wash her hair every day before leaving it. This seems to be the correct answer for as far as the discussion we had. Right? One short answer question will take. List 3 things you will do for personal grooming. In each of care, wash, avoid to keep calm. That is, you have to clean yourself, you have to make yourself presentable. Women generally, they are like this. Men are not that much cleanliness conscious. So the answer is like this. We have already seen this. We have discussed this. Let me just recall it. So we have discussed in detail here, but I'll just give you some hint here. Care means you have to keep your hair free of dandruff. Then you need to rub. You can use the anti-dandruff shampoo. Then you can rub oil and cream. You can take care of your skin. Brush your teeth daily, change your toothbrush. As soon as it gets D-shaped, cut your nails every week. Okay, every week. And don't use your mouth because it will keep dirt inside your mouth. Wash your hand frequently, take bath every day, wash your clothes regularly. Wash your hair at least every second day, if not possible every day, every second day, and wash your feet often. Feet gets the highest dirt. Avoid blowing your nose, coughing, sneezing on the handkerchief. Avoid because you are spreading germs. Keep your feet dry and change your socks every day. Okay? Grooming. I hope you'll be. Grooming means keeping yourself up to date in terms of dressing, in terms of cleanliness. If I take you back to say 15-20 years back, girls, boys, or even the big ones, they will only dress properly and clean for marriage, for party, for occasion. That is, they'll do makeup. Only special occasion they'll do. But now the things have changed. You see anyone, they will do makeup, they will have a good attire, that is the dressing, and they will keep themselves look nicer, impressive. So grooming, why it is important? Dressing is the action of putting on clothes. Different clothes you wear, different occasions are there. That is, you're going to office, you're going to some party, what do you wear? So dressing is showing what you are from inside. Grooming is how neat, tidy you look, how smart you look. That is, process of making yourself look neat, tidy and smart is grooming. That is, the way you dress, the way you groom, what you wear and how do you look. It sends a proper message to the other person. The message can be that you are confident, smart, sincere, or the message can be opposite. That is, you are not very confident, you're not smart, and you're not sincere either. So first impression is last impression. So whatever is seen in you, when the other person see you, is all what is the other person makes or some idea about you. So the dressing, the making up of yourself is important. So dressing and grooming, why it is important? Because they helps us in various ways. First, you will look smart. Everyone wants to look smart, and everyone wants that the people should admire them in any way. Then to feel confident, because not confident for others, even feeling confident for ourselves is important, and that is because of the dressing and grooming you do. And first impression is last impression, as I just suggested. In social life, in work life, in private life, you have to meet people. So you have to give or send some good impression to them. People will not take you. People will take your idea, your impression with them. That impression has to be bang on, has to be really good. Okay, whenever they think about you, they will think about you in a good dress, clean, tidy, smart, talking nicely. So I'll give an example of what I'm trying to suggest about good dressing and grooming. The first thing is clean clothes. That is, I'm not saying expensive clothes. I'm just saying clean cloth. Whatever is seen when somebody sees you, your face, it is seen. For men, for boys, the short hair are always advisable. You have big hair, not properly combed, coming in front of your face is not advisable. If you see the army men or people from the force, they will always have short hair. And the girls, because they have long hairs, so they need to keep them tied properly, okay, and look impressive. Again, same, the hair should not come, and you will not always use your hand and working with your hairs. Then, minimum or no flashy things in your dress to school or dress to work, like the fluorescent color or the red color. These, just be sober. So what are the guidelines for dressing and grooming? There are certain ways and certain things which we see in other person. Cloth, hair, face. See, here is an individual. If I see you or you see me, you'll see the dress, you'll see the shoes. Then from the neck upward, you'll see the face, and you'll see the hair. So there are certain ways you can divide these guidelines for dressing and grooming. First is cloth. The clothes should be clean. You don't want to repeat it again and again. Every day, just clean it. And shoes. People generally, especially the women, they will see your shoes. Okay. So the shoes should be clean because they get dirty every day. Then inside these shoes, you have socks. Socks smell. Everyone's socks smell. It's not, my socks smell, yours doesn't. So you need to change it every day. You need to wear and clean clothes, clean socks, right? Then coming to the jewelry, today women generally they wear jewelry. Men also are wearing jewelry. Some belts, jewelry. These should be simple. Wear it, but they should not be so flashy, long like this. In government job, in provincial job, in the forces, you're not allowed to have tattoos. The tattoos or piercing are not accepted here. So if you really want to be a successful man or successful person in some government firm, work for the country, then you need to be away from tattoos and these piercing. Second thing comes is hair. If a person is having short hair, his age will or her age will always be seen higher, on the higher range. But if you have hair, you need to wash them regularly, clean them regularly, and comb them properly. There should be say haircut, proper haircut, not so flashy, some linings, etc. So simple hairstyles and well combed hair, it will give you a sober look, a smart look, an official look, an impressive look. Coming to the face. Now the chehra, face. See, if you have shave or if you have beard, shave properly. First thing is you can clean shave. It is always advisable. If you can't do it every time, then they should be trimmed properly. Your beard should be trimmed properly. Mustaches should not be like some gunda, mawali or some bad guys. Teeth is very important. When you smile, the teeth is seen when you talk. So if they are stained, it gives a very bad impression. People get some yuck kind of feeling. So clean your teeth. Brush your teeth, try to do it twice, or if it is not possible, always gargle after every meal. You can take some water and just do some gargling work. And all these pan, gutka, chewing, betel, all these have to be avoided, which happens to attack your teeth improperly. Coming to the question and answer, dressing and grooming are important because they help us to look smart. Yes, of course. Untidy? No, you look tidy. And shabby? No. Shabby is the filthy look basically. So you don't want to be looking untidy, shabby, or not smart. That is why you dress and groom. So the answer here is smart. I have given the answers here also, just for your reference. So smart is the answer. The following image is an example of dash shirt. So this is a formal shirt. There's a difference between a formal and informal. Whatever you wear for some office, school, these are formal shirt, right? It's very plain, not very flashy color, not with different styling, just simple dress, simple. Always, people say simple living and big thoughts, higher thoughts. So this is what is formal dress. You will look formal and that will give you confidence. You have to be tidy, clean cloth and simple cloth. The third one is the following image is an example of dash t-shirt. This is informal t-shirt. T-shirt is always informal. You cannot have a formal t-shirt. The formal t-shirt should look like it should have proper neck and preferably say pocket. So this is an informal one. Okay, this is all about this discussion. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.